Today we are going to study about Nirguna Sakshatkara. It is all about God realization. In Saguna Sakshatkara, we give a name and form for God. The God concept, what we have understood, is from other religions, as God is a person who sits in the heaven and rules the whole universe. So universe is something different from God in other religious beliefs. Whereas, even though we use the same word, English word God, it doesn't mean the God who lives in the heaven and rules the world. You have to carefully watch. This is very helpful for your life. Not only for yoga education, for whole life, this is very useful. Understanding Hinduism and Sanatana Dharma. According to Sanatana Dharma, the Sakshatkara is the Sanskrit word for God realization. And this God realization has two forms. One is Saguna and another is Nirguna. When we understand Saguna Sakshatkara, it is a manifestation and a form of vision from our own imagination, in which we manifest God with a name and form and character, attributes. So Guna. Whenever you see the word Guna, you should remember three Guna. Sattva, Rajas, Tamo Guna. So here in Sa Guna means with Guna. The suffix, the prefix, the prefix Sa means with. In English, with Guna. So with Guna means what Guna? Sattva, Rajas, Tamo Guna. You imagine God personified with three Guna. Any of the Guna. You may give a gender, male or female, to God. You may visualize God as a child, Balaramaha, Balakrishnaha, Bala. Like that, Bala Subramaniaha. Like that, you may give a Bala, a child form, to God. Or Kanya Kumari, a virgin form. Or an elderly woman form, Rajarajeshwari. Like this, you will motherly form, Lalitambika. Like that, you may give many attributes. A ferocious form, Kali, with Rajasic Guna, Kali. Tamasic Guna, Dhumavati. Like this, you can give Sattvic Guna, Mahalakshmi, Saraswati, Sattva Guna. So all these attributes are produced from our own visualization and imagination, and God takes whatever form you want. God appears in those forms. As like as the water, if you keep in a glass beaker, it will take the form of a beaker. It will keep the water in a conical flask. The water will take the form of conical flask. If you keep water in a round bottom flask, it will take a round bottom form. Like that, whatever visualization and imagination and manifestation is produced from your mind, God is ready to appear in those forms. So this is with Saguna. Therefore, the mind becomes completely involved in that particular thought or concept. When you get the Sakshatkara in the form of a vision, it is your own imagination. This is Saguna Sakshatkara. Sakshatkara is the true realization. English word for Sakshatkara is true realization, God realization, divine realization. And later we studied the 9 forms of devotion. Shravanam, listening. Kirtanam, singing. Smaranam, remembering the name of the God. Because you may give Sahasra Nama, 1000 names. Pada Sevanam, doing service at the feet of Guru or to Lord. Archanam, praising the Lord by offering. Archana means offering. You may offer coconut, you may offer sweets, or you may offer flowers, like that. Vandanam, salutation to God. Dasyam, service of God. As though imagining God as the Yajamana, the boss, and you are serving as a servant. It gives humility. Humility, humbleness, destroys ego, thereby it leads to a qualification for gaining knowledge. Sakyam, friendship, love towards God, seeing God as your own lover or love, like Mirabai, that is Sakyam. Even Arjuna was a friend of Krishna. Sudhama was a friend of Krishna. Balarama was the friend of Sri Ram. Atmanivedanam, total surrender. It is the utter annihilation of the sense of egoism and bodily consciousness. Nivedanam means total annihilation of sense of egoism and bodily consciousness. The surrender of the self of God is so complete that the sense of separateness is lost. What is the benefit of this total surrender and annihilation of the sense of egoism and bodily consciousness? Separateness is lost. The difference, discrimination, I am a Bhakta, Devi is all almighty. This difference is lost and the separateness is removed. And there reigns the single, indescribable, blend, blissful kingdom of Atman is realized. That is the ultimate result of this Navavida Bhakti Sutra. Your question will be, define Navavida Bhakti Sutram, explain the significant factors. Give an account of Navavida Bhakti Sutra. Explain the significance of 9 forms of devotion. So this is the Saguna Sakshatkara. Now we go to today, we go to Nirguna Sakshatkara. There is an important shloka from chapter 18 of Bhagavad Gita. The shloka number 54. Moksha Sannyasa Yogaha. The 18th chapter is Moksha Sannyasa Yogaha and the 54th shloka. Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma Na Shochati Na Kankshati Samasarveshu Bhuteshu Mad Bhaktim Labhate Param. Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma Na Shochati Na Kankshati Samasarveshu Bhuteshu Mad Bhaktim Labhate Param. Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma Na Shochati Na Kankshati Samasarveshu Bhuteshu Mad Bhaktim Labhate Param. Here, the word becoming is there. In the English translation, becoming is there. You may get confused. Oh, we have to become as Brahman. So it is not becoming, it is being. Here the word becoming has been given in the name of being. Because You are already Brahman. Whether we know that I am Brahman or not, we are Brahman only. Because all that here is Brahman. Other than Brahman, nothing is there. So, being Brahman, Brahma Bhutaha, the Bhu Bhavati Shabda. Bhu Shabda is Bhavati. So, becoming may confuse, understand that being Brahman, serene-minded, he neither grieves nor desires. The same to all beings. He obtains supreme devotion to me. So now he is not seeing God in any form or name or gender. So nirguna. For this God realization, there is no attributes for God because everything is Ishvara. The tree is Ishvara. Animals are Ishvara. Mountain is Ishvara. Cloud is Ishvara. Rain is Ishvara. Grain is Ishvara. Body is Ishvara. Mind is Ishvara. Everything is Ishvara. Everything is God. Some people asked Puja Swamiji, Swami Dayananda Saraswati ji, Swamiji, in your religion, how many gods are there? You have millions and millions of gods. Starting from Sri Krishna to Karupraya Swami, how many gods you have? And beyond Karupraya Swami, so many demigods are there. Kula Devatas are there. Millions of gods are there. And people create new forms of God also, or goddess also. How is it? How many gods are there in your religion? Is it one God or two gods or many gods? Do you say that you have only one God? That was the question. Puja Swamiji answered, we don't say there is one God. We don't say there is two gods. We never say there are many gods. We say only God. Only God. Means everything is God for us. Everything is Ishvara for us. When you do this practice and understand these nuances of this statement, it is something like taking a handful of salt and dissolving in the ocean. When the handful of salt is dissolved in the ocean, can you find your own salt? Like that, being Brahman is God realization through Nirguna Sakshatkara, serene-minded, pure-minded. How do you attain this serene-mindedness? Through yoga, through yogasana, through pranayama practice, through mantra japa practice, through upasana, through many kind of spiritual practices, one's mind becomes serene. Brahmacharya, Nitya Achara, Surya Namaskara, Kriyas, Asanas. With all these practices, our body and mind becomes pure and serene. In that pure, serene mind, there is no grief, there is no dukkha. Bhagavan Sri Krishna gives this shloka to Sri Arjuna, who is in a great grief. That grief is because desire. There is no desire in this mind which is serene. This is the aim or task of spirituality. Our education system never gives any lakshya to students. That is why we don't have any aim in our life. If at all there is an aim for us given by our education system, it means to earn more or to buy a house or to get married or to get settled in overseas countries. This is the maximum task what we have given. Our education system never shows the task. What is the ultimate task of human birth? I will give you two understandings about this. One is the God realization, which is called moksha. Number two is leading a life of dharma. I can narrate this as a slogan. Dharma is our mission. Moksha is our vision. Dharma is our way of life. Moksha is our target. Lakshya. What is moksha? Understanding that I am Brahman. In that Nirguna Sakshatkara, the real God is Nirguna because according to Kena Upanishad, look at the screen. Shrotrasya Shrotram Manaso Mano Yad Vacho Havacham Sa U Pranasya Pranaha. I repeat. Shrotrasya Shrotram Manaso Mano Yad Vacho Havacham Sa U Pranasya Pranaha. Chakshushas Chakshurati Mucha Dhiraha Pretyasmal Loka Dhamrtha Bhavanti. Pretyasmal Loka Dhamrtha Bhavati. Pretya Asmat Lokad Mritaha Bhavanti. Brahman cannot be seen by your eyes. Here, the word Brahman is used to replace the word God. God cannot be visualized by your eyes because it is the God which makes your eyes see things. If at all I see, it is because of Brahman. Brahman illumines my eyes to see the objects. Then how can I see Brahman? The same Kena Upanishad, one more shloka is there. Words are illumined by Brahman and words cannot illumine Brahman. Words fail to say what is Brahman. So Shrotrasya Shrotram, ear of ears. Manasaha Manaha, the Manaso Manaha, mind of the mind. Vachoha Vacham, speech of the speech, means which helps us to speak. Pranasya Pranaha, prana of prana, all are Sashti Vibhakti. Chakshushaha Chakshuhu, eye of eyes. This is what told Brahman, means what? Which illumines these five sensory perceptions, which is behind these five sensory perceptions, which activates these five sensory perceptions, so that these five sensory perceptions are not enough to see Brahman, think Brahman, look at Brahman, taste at Brahman, smell at Brahman. So these five sensory perceptions cannot perceive Brahman. Here the word Brahman is used in the place of God. That is why they are giving the word God. God cannot be visualized by your eyes. Nastika, who is the non-believer, will ask, can you show God if you are a believer of God? Can you show Ishvara? Can you show Krishna? They will ask, because it is the God which makes your eyes see things. Similarly, he is the ear of the ears, the mind of the mind. Manaso Manaha, Manaso Manas. We cannot hear the voices of the God because even your ears get their capacity and power to hear from the source Brahman. Because you are listening because of Brahman. You are seeing through eyes, you cannot see your own eyes. Therefore, the real God Brahman is Nirgunaha, no shape, no imagination, no attributes. All other so-calls are nothing but constructs of your mind, figments of the imagination of your mind. Here, we have to go carefully because it may sound as a Nastikavada. when you have all belief or faith on a particular image of a God, when this subject of Nirguna Sakshatkara is studied, you may wonder how it could be. Because we are used to pray God in the name and form. That is no wrong. Always it is preferred to have name and form of God. I will give you a good example. When I was getting this transformation from Saguna Sakshatkara to Nirguna Sakshatkara, my Guru said, my dear son, when you were studying in LKG and UKG, you were using models to count in mathematics. What will you do? 5 plus 3. There are 5 mangoes and your mother gave 3 mangoes. Now how many mangoes are there? So it was objectified. 5 plus 3. 5 mangoes plus 3 mangoes. 8 mangoes. This was our LKG sum. Elementary sum. Or we will use models. 5 blocks will be there. 3 blocks will be given. Or 5 balls will be there, 3 balls will be given. So 5 plus 3 is equal to 8. We used to do with models. Later, we were using fingers. In right hand 5 finger, in the left hand 3 fingers. So 5 plus 3, 8 later. Then we were stopped. Don't use finger, do it in mind. When you do in mind, you lose all the objects, fingers, etc. And in mind, you understand 5 plus 3 is equal to 8. How is it? There is no objectification. Only a mental sum happens. That is Nirguna. No mangoes, no models, no blocks, no fingers. In mind, you are using. In that way, we can understand the Nirguna Upasana, the worship of God without any attributes. The Upanishad says, there the manas, buddhi, bhavanas and even pranas subside. There is no movement whatsoever. And once that happens fully, there is no question of return. Yad gatva na nivartante tadhama paramam mama. Bhagavan says, once that process is complete, the body is also left. Na saha punaravartate, na saha avartate iti. Na saha punaravartate, na saha punaravartate iti. It says, prana has subsided, has silenced itself. It is like sealing the pot with air. It is like an egg, becoming an egg. Manas, buddhi, chitta, ahankara all get totally silenced. This deepest silence is the abode of all bliss, knowledge, creativity and freedom. Total silence. Now we are like a pressure cooker. Bush, pressure cooker makes a sound like that. We are breathing. Bush, bush. But when you become in this Nirguna Sakshatkara, it is a total silence. At the same time, life is inside like an egg, fertile egg. Like a fertile egg, the life lives inside with all bliss, knowledge, creativity, and freedom. But there is a total silence. Same thing you can achieve in the path of Bakti, culminating in Nirvikalpa. And this leads to Nirvikalpa Samadhi. Nirvikalpa means there is no Sankalpa or Vikalpa. There is no likes or dislikes. Sankalpa is like, Vikalpa is dislike. There is no dislike means Nirvikalpa. No Sankalpa. With this, the Nirguna Sakshatkara part is explained in a very, very short form, but a very potential data, potential content is there in this paragraph. You try to understand and listen this audio again, you will come to understand.